Hello friends, welcome back to next part of our lesson environmental management. As usual, I expect that all of you have taken your notebooks so that you can note down some important points. In our last video of environmental management, we have seen that the need of environmental conservation as well as why it is our responsibility to conserve environment. Now, we will study regarding our next point, that is environmental conservation and biodiversity. It means we are going to study the relationship between environmental conservation and biodiversity. So, first of all, biodiversity. We have studied this in our previous standard. Do you remember what is biodiversity? Very good. Biodiversity, it is the variety or variation that occurs in the living organisms that exist on the earth. It means that we can see different types of animals as well as plants around us. All those plants and animals, they differ from each other in different criteria like their appearance, their eating habits, their habitats, and all those things. This variety, it is exactly said to be biodiversity. Okay, clear? Biodiversity, it is the variety or variation that occurs in the different living organisms that exist on the earth. Clear now? This biodiversity occurs at three different levels. Those levels are, first one is genetic diversity, second one is species diversity, and third one is ecosystem diversity. So, let us study them one by one. First one is genetic diversity. The diversity among the organisms of the same species. For example, let us take the human species. In the human being species, we can observe that no two individual human beings are exactly similar or exactly copy of each other. Why it is so? Obviously, it is the result of genetic variation. We can say that in the same species, no two individuals have the same genetic inheritance. This is called as genetic diversity. Okay? We can observe in any species, either it may be animal or it may be plant, no two individuals are exactly alike. That is, individuals in the same species are different from each other. The reason is genetic diversity. Clear? Okay. Now let us move to the next point, that is species diversity. Number of and variety of species occur in nature. That is, we can see that our surroundings or our environment, it is rich in different variety of organisms. It includes variety of species of plants and organisms, right? This number of species which are present on the earth, it is said to be species diversity. We can see different species are present on the earth in the environment, and this is the variation or variety of species that occur in nature, which is said to be species diversity. Okay, clear? In genetic diversity, in the same species the variation occurs in the genes. Here the different species are there and it is said to be species diversities. Now our next diversity type, it is ecosystem diversity. Now we can see that in the environment there are different and number of lot of ecosystems. For example, pond ecosystem, sweet water ecosystem, marine water ecosystem, forest ecosystem, evergreen forest ecosystem, and all those things. This number of ecosystems, they are present in each region, and all these different ecosystems, they form ecosystem diversity. Okay, that is many ecosystems are present in each region, and ecosystem is formed through the interaction between all these things from the environment. Okay, each ecosystem has its own characteristics, animals, plants, microbes, abiotic factors, all those things. Okay, this ecosystem we have studied in our earlier video, That ecosystem, it can be artificial or it can be natural. All these things are included under ecosystem diversity, right? Biodiversity, it is the richness of living organisms in nature due to presence of variation of organisms, ecosystems and genetic variations. There should be positive attitude of human being towards the environment for welfare of entire living life, right? And for this purpose, our role is very important. So, how can biodiversity be conserved? We have studied this point in our previous standard. Do you remember anything about it? No? Okay, let us study it one by one. Protecting the rare species of organisms. Now, we know that there are some organisms or there are some species which are going to be very rare. For example, if we take an example of a red panda, it is one of the rare species and we have to protect such type of rare species of organisms. Our next point, it is establishing national parks and sanctuaries. The different national parks and sanctuaries should be established to survive or to nourish the different plants and organisms or animals. Declaring some regions as bioreserves. So, what is a bioreserve? It is the natural surroundings that is provided for the plants as well as animals, where the plants and animals, they are having their natural habitat, they are reserved for that. Okay, the human beings, they are just allowed to carry out their routines, but that specific region, it is reserved only for the living organisms or animals. Okay, they can live there in their natural habitats. This is said to be bioreserves. Okay, clear? Projects for conservation of special species. Now, there are different special species which should be conserved. If they are not, they will be distinguished according to the time. So, we have to make some projects to conserve the special species. Then, conserving all plants and animals. We have to conserve, otherwise they will be extinct or the number or variety will be getting less and less. Observing the rules and maintaining a record of traditional knowledge. We know that in our traditional era, there is a lot of knowledge regarding the different plants as well as their medicinal values and all those things. So, this knowledge should be well recorded, preserved, maintained, and should be given to our next generations. Okay, this is regarding maintaining a record of traditional knowledge. Now, about the sacred groves. These sacred groves are the sanctuaries which are conserved under the name of God. These are conserved by the society itself and not by the government forest department. As it has been conserved in the name of God, it has special protection. It means no individual dares to deforest them, right? These clusters of thick forest are present not only in Western Ghats of India but in the entire country. More than 13,000 sacred groves have been reported in India. In Maharashtra, we can observe such type of sacred groves mostly in Sindhudurg district as well as in Ratnagiri district also. Now, let us enlist and discuss some symbols related to environment. Here is our first symbol. Here, this symbol indicates us to keep our waste carefully. That is, it is a symbol keep or throw waste carefully. The garbage should not be thrown anywhere. It should be properly managed. Waste, if it is managed properly, it can also be wealth, right? Our next symbol, it is regarding this. These both symbols are similar. These symbols tell us to save electricity. If electricity is carefully used, we can save our natural resources. So, this message is save electricity. Next, here we can see a bicycle. It indicates the use of bicycles, that is use of green energy. By riding on a bicycle, we save on fuel and use our own muscular energy. So, it is one of the best eco-friendly and non-polluting vehicles. So, it symbolizes us the use of bicycles, that is use of green energy. Here is our next symbol. This symbol or this symbol. Both these symbols, they indicate us regarding the saving of water. Both these symbols indicate the message to save water. Sustainable use of water, it is very necessary for our future. So, both these symbols indicate save water. Now, here it is the next symbol. This or this or this. All these are the three different diagrammatic representations of the same symbol. These are the symbols giving us message regarding reduce, reuse and recycle. That is, it is an important mantra for utilization of natural resources. That is, reuse, reduce and recycle, or we can also call it as recycling. Right? The next symbol, here it is. It is showing us some solar plates. This is use of solar energy. That is use of renewable energy sources. Clear? Till now, we have studied the rules or symbols and rules and regulations about the environmental conservation and protection in this lesson. Many people in the society are voluntarily coming together to perform this noble work. Many institutes at state, national and international levels are involved in this work. Let us have a look on these voluntary organizations as well as international environmental organizations. You can have a look and read all these names of voluntary organizations which are working for environmental conservation. Bombay Natural History Society, which is located at Mumbai, and all those things. Among all these organizations, Greenpeace is the world's largest organization that is engaged in environmental activities. More than 25 lakh people from 26 different countries are the members of this organization. Okay? Now, what you have to do? You have to collect more information about the work of all these voluntary, national as well as international organizations which are engaged, which are involved in the environmental conservation. Next part in our next video.